Hey Seven Friends, welcome to the Joy of Stamping with Rachel. I'm Rachel Coon and it's Fun Fold Friday. Today I'll be showing how to make an awesome magic Mother's Day card, and it's a slider card. This card was actually designed by Tammy White, who is one of my favorite demonstrators, and I just added just a little bit of different things to it. So go ahead and hold while I flip and we'll get started to make this awesome card. All right, let's see if you guys can see everything okay. Do a quick adjustment. Sorry. All right. Hopefully that looks great. Let me show you our card. So what makes this card super fun is that it is a magic card. So when I slide this part out, it then colors in. So you can kind of see how it's half gold right now, and then the color is up here on the back, which is a super fun idea. There are many versions of magic slider cards or magic cards, usually requiring you to do coloring in of the image instead of what we're doing today. And I'm using the Fine Art Floral DSP. And make sure I get the name of this right, it's a Golden Garden Acetate. So right here is the Golden Garden Acetate, and right here is the Fine Art Floral. And there's two sheets of this that coincides with the DSP. And what it does is when I put it over it, it creates this golden outline. You see how it matches it up just perfectly? And so when we cut this out, you just cut it at the same corner. So I cut mine out of another sheet of paper starting at the same corner, and that way it would match up. Let me show you. So I have our pieces already cut here, and that's with the gold over it. And I would take it off, and you can see them separately. See how that just goes over it? It's really fun. And it's a great way to accent this paper with this fun acetate. All right. So, like I said, this card is actually designed by Tammy White, which is one of my favorite Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. She is amazing, and I have loved things she's created for years and years now. And when I saw this video, I just had to share it with you. But we're going to change it up at the very end and show you how to make it a full-size card. So this one is just pretty small, like it fits in my hand. It's a smaller size card. And I'm going to show you how we can make it into a regular size card as well. All right, you guys ready? There's lots of measurements, but this card isn't too hard. What we're going to do is form a pocket. And so what we have is this piece of pool party paper measuring at 8.5 by 4 1/4. And then I have it scored here on the bottom at 4 1/4. And then I have two more score marks hitting at the 2 3/4 and the 5 3/4. And I'll have all these on my blog later today. All right, and there should be a link if you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be a link in the comments as well if you want that measurements to this one. Then what we've used is these stitch rectangles, or actually they're called rectangle stitch dies, but I always call them the other way. And we used two of them to create the cutout, the smaller one, for our center here, run it through our die cutting machine, and then we ran both of these through the die cutting machine at the same time with our gold foil, and I've created this awesome frame. This is one of my Tuesdays tips this week of how to make your perfect frames by using our rectangle stitch dies, just by getting one size difference from one to the next. If you wanted a thicker frame, you would just get a smaller centerpiece or a larger outside piece. This one fits our measurements pretty awesome, so that's as large as I would recommend for this one. All right. Let me go ahead and show you now how to start this cutting. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut just above the score right here to the score line. So we're going to kind of make a tab on the bottom of our center. So just cut just above it like that, and then we'll cut it to that score line. And we'll do the same thing on the other side, just above that score line. And if you're a little wobbly with scissors, you could totally use your paper trimmer for this step as well. There we go. And cut it to there. Looks pretty good. Yes, be sure to say hi. I have 2 people who said hi. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here to learn this awesome magic card. All right, so now from this point, what we need to do is go ahead and attach this piece of basic white. This is an insert and it measures at 3 3/4 by 2 3/4, but you don't have to have it white. So if you wanted to have that background to be the same as the card base or that pool party, you totally could. I like that white because I think it's very contrasting to the gold, but whatever you want is what you can do. Let's go ahead and grab our bone folder, and we're going to just start to get some of these score lines creased. Just like that. And like I said, this is just a pocket we are forming to put our magic card into. Okay, we'll get this one. Just crease it like that. So what we need to do is go ahead and attach this to the bottom here. And what you can use, I'm going to grab my silicone mat out because it might get a little sticky. Some seal right here. I'm just going to add it to this edge like that. Okay. And then I'll cover it up right to there. That looks pretty good. So the next thing we need to do is go ahead and close this up as well. And you can kind of see it's kind of wobbly looking. So what I'll do is go ahead and just grab my bone folder again and straighten it out. That looks better already. Go ahead and grab some adhesive on one's end. And then we'll close this up over it. Just like that. Okay, so now we form this awesome little pocket. You can kind of see how that opens up in there, and we have our insert in there because that's going to be what divides our magic card from the acetate side to the paper side. Let's go ahead and glue on our frame so we can give it a chance to dry while we assemble the center. You can either use glue dots if you're afraid of it getting too messy on each of the corners, or just put a little bit, let me grab my other one, a little bit of glue, and I'll do dots more than lines for something like this. Make sure, there we go. Just kind of dot some out. And if you're worried about that glue transferring over to that insert, you could have done this step first. Okay, let's grab this back in and just line it up over that hole, just like that. You can kind of see where my glue oozed out here at the top. So what I'm going to do is take my finger and just kind of wipe it. There we go. And I want this to stay on, so I'm going to grab a large clear block and let it sit on top of it and set it aside. That will help keep pressure on it so I don't have to push it down and to let it catch on it. All right, so I have 2 of these ready to go because you can make 3 of these cards with one cut, or one main cut, I should say, of our paper. I'm trying to think which one we should do because one lucky winner is going to get this card today. I think I like this one. This one's really pretty. So what we need next is either the pool party or this is the blushing bride, and I've cut out a 1-inch circle. You can either use the layering circle dies or your circle punch, whatever you have. And we're just going to take this one and fold it in half. I have 2 because I used that pink one for this one. I'm going to change this one up and do the pool party. So just kind of fold it in half like that. And then we're going to add some adhesive on both sides. I don't want to get everything sticky today, so I'm trying to be smart and use my silicone mat, which is something that Stampin' Up! Actually sells, and it's one of my favorite things if I remember it. All right, so now we have adhesive on both sides of there, and we're going to just make sure this is lined up so the overlay matches everything, and we're going to take it and attach it to the front and fold it over. And try to go as much center as you can. Oh, thanks, Jessica. She says this card is darling. It's super fun. And I always like these fun ideas. This is just a regular hole punch. You can use whatever size you have that'll fit the ribbon you're using. I'm using the Fine Art Gold ribbon. Just punch a hole. There we go. And it's going to be a hard punch because we're going through a couple layers. There we go. Awesome. Now let's go ahead and grab our ribbon. I'm using that Fine Art ribbon, which is this beautiful gold one. And you'll want to take about maybe 5 inches. Just kind of grab it, and then we'll trim as needed. And we'll thread that through. Maybe, there we go. There we go. Pull it through just like that. And then get it even on here. I usually say the trimming toward the end, but let's go ahead and trim this now. You probably only need about 4 inches of this, maybe even less. Okay. Now you can grab out your twine. This is that snail mail twine combo pack, and I use the white for that one. I'm gonna go ahead and switch it up and use the pink this time, just for fun. And beforehand, there's Lily. It's probably the UPS man that's at the door. Sorry, you guys. Lily. She's such a good guard dog, I tell ya. That bark. I'm just tying a bow now. Just pull it tight and do one more knot to secure it a little bit better. We don't want this to slide. I gave myself a lot to work with, which is totally up to you of how much you do. So I would say at least 3 inches, if not more. Let's go ahead and grab our bow. I think it's easier to trim things after than not have enough, right? Right. Cute bow. Love it. We'll just trim a little bit on each side. Awesome. All right. So the next part I want to show you was just this little part I did beforehand. I've embossed in white. I had gold for this one, but I did white for this one, so it's kind of hard to see. There we go. That's just Happy Mother's Day, and I used the Timeless Tulip stamp set for this one because it has this really cute little Happy Mother's Day. You can use whatever greeting and whatever stamp set you had to add to this one. And I use this die is from my All Dressed Up dies, which makes those cute little purses. It has this one little label that I really liked, so I added that to this card. But we're not going to attach that yet. We're going to save that towards the end. All right, so we have our pocket, we have our centerpiece, and here's the magic. We're going to separate these two. When we slide this in, we want the white insert to be in the middle. So go ahead and slide it carefully in. And this probably is the hardest part of the card, but once you get it, it's good. Okay, DSP on the back side. And then we'll get that acetate. And maybe, there we go. There it is. There's our cute little pocket. Look how pretty that is, even just like that. They almost don't even need to pull that, but just to see how pretty. Oh my goodness. All right, so to make this a full-size card, I'm just going to add a card base. My regular size, my thick whisper white, and we have it at our 5.5 by our 8.5 and scored at our 4.25, our regular size. And what we're going to do is just attach this. So if you have tear tape, that would be awesome because it's going to be a moving card. You want some strong adhesive. Or if you have your Seal Plus, just go ahead and add a couple strips on the back here. And then you want to make sure your ribbon isn't going too far over, so you can have it either center if you want and trim your ribbon, or make sure it tucks into your envelope, okay? Oh my goodness. Super cute. Let's go ahead and crease that. And then let's add our Happy Mother's Day. So if you were to add it without putting on a card base, what you would do is put a glue dot on each side of corner to corner like that, because we don't want this to be stuck down. This needs to be able to move. when we pull it. See, like that. So make sure you don't put any adhesive on there. So we can either do a glue dot there, or we can even, if there was room, I could have put it underneath there. I have it a little bit too high. So let's go ahead and glue dot this one on, and then we'll be done. So a glue dot on both ends of our label, just like that. And then we'll corner it to there. Perfect. Oh my goodness, I love it. So that's what it looks like on a full-size card. And there it is just as the pocket. I hope you guys have enjoyed learning this magic Mother's Day slider card and it's inspired you to try to make your own magic cards. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy stamping, everyone. Goodbye.